Hello everyone, hope you're all well. Another day, another more work on my little journal. Rudy wants to get his nose in. I'll see if you can see him. No, you can't, can you? Let me just say hello. Do you want to say hello? Yeah, you can say hello. Yeah, say hello. Oh, bless him. Anyway, he's on my chair and not leaving me much room. He does this. Anyway, so, see, I can barely move. So what I thought I'd do, I've been working some more in this little journal, and I've included some new features and different things. Oh, I've also, the two main things are that I've put these signatures in. So I've got a signature here that I put in as what's it called? A signature that isn't, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, it's a signature, but it's sewn in onto this piece of cloth, and then the cloth is added there, glued onto the spine, whereas this one is actually sewn in. So this one's got a 3-hole pamphlet stitch on the external part of the spine there. So I just felt with this one, the thinner one rather, this one, actually it's not thin, it's the same amount of pages, but because this part was smaller, I don't know what made me think I couldn't do it the other way, but it doesn't matter. I just thought, you know, a spine that you couldn't see was best. So it took me ages to do it though. I don't know why, I just kept messing it up. But anyway, so yeah, some more features on there. I won't go through them all because you'll see them as I'm working on the journal anyway. Really happy with these beautiful pages. I hope you can see there. Let me just check. Can you see the pattern on them? I don't know if you can. Well, I'll just lift the can you see the pattern there, and on there, and then on the others as well? Just beautiful. It's from a plastic doily that I found in a charity shop, and I only have the one. So, but I'm going to be doing some more of them pages because I've got another journal to work on, and I want those sort of pages in it. So, anyway, I'm rambling. Right, so what I thought I'd do with you guys is I'm going to do a little bit of work using, I mentioned in one of my other videos, I'm just looking for some paper that I would use some of these things that I made in the work that I did the other day, and I thought, well, now would be a good time just to do some. I might use that piece of card as well for something. So I thought now would be a good time to do some brown paper. And there was something else I wanted to use. Let's see. Well, yeah, I've got these. So I've got all of these. So I said I would do something with them, and I will. I've already used a couple of things off here. Actually, I didn't use the tag. Where is that? There. Tab. No. Label. I said I was going to use that label somewhere, so I'll keep that out as well. But what I want to do specifically with these at the moment is I've got a box of dried flowers here, and I thought I'd add some dried flowers to these tissue papers. Now I'm just wondering whether to add something on top, just another layer, but I want it to be delicate. So a tissue paper again. Let me just check what I've got. I've got piles of it in Sorry, I should have got this out before, but some blue there. That's a pretty blue. Oh, Ruby, I'm sorry. I'm in your way, am I? Put some cream. I was looking for something in particular. Oh, I've got there. I might use a bit of that. Rudy, you really are taking up too much space, darling. It's ridiculous. I'm going to have to get him a little chair that he can sit next to me. Right, let's see. Put this to one side. Now, so yeah, so as I was saying, let's look and see where we could put flowers. Can put some on some of the pages. Let's see. I've got that. There was I mean, that's quite a large space that could do something on it. So there's a few little spaces there to work on. So I'm thinking this. I'm just going to scrunch it up because I don't know if it would work, but you scrunch it up a little bit. So you might lose some of the. Well, it certainly gives it texture, but I was thinking it might crack some of the paint, which would be interesting. But doesn't look like it has. Right, well, I've got this. This is really pretty. It's just like a gold. It's not Lochta paper, but it's very similar. You can't. I don't think you can rip it though. So just going to cut some here. I'll cut this little square off here a minute, and then I'll cut a section from here. It's got fibres in it, and so I don't know what it's, what it is exactly, but isn't it pretty? It's got that beautiful gold on it. I've got it in blue as well somewhere. I must look it up and see if I can find it. Oh, certainly ripped that okay, so we probably can rip it. Okay, well, I think that looks absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to put some of that on, and bearing in mind that I can rip it. I would have preferred it to have been a little bit more less straight than that, but that's okay. Alright, yeah, I didn't realise I could rip it actually. Right, so I could put it like that, and then now let's have a look at what we've got. We've got these. I've got some honesty there. I don't think I want to have all of that. I'll just take a couple off. Like that, I'm thinking. I like that, I think. Quite like these as well. The hydrangea, but I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Got more here. Got a lot of flowers and leaves. Got some. That's too small, I think. But isn't that pretty? That's lovely. Oh yeah, so we've got this. This is it Love in a Mist? That never came to anything, I think. Oh, and it was just the leaves that I thought looked to be lovely. I can't quite work with this. I'm not sure about it. I'm going to just rip off some of that just to make it a bit more. I'm going to glue that on anyway because I want that on there. I just think it's really pretty. I don't want to take forever on this. I don't have to make it, you know, stick completely down. Okay, so what's that? Oh, it's just part of the, right. I do like that, but I'm not sure. I'll carry on. Got that. That's really nice. I like that. What about, let's see if we've got any more, and then I could maybe put two together. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'm loving that. So I think I'll go with that. So I will use my other glue for this, just because they're delicate. Now, if I was clever, I would use tweezers. No tweezers there. They're usually hanging on the side of here, but I'm not sure if I've put them somewhere else. Whoops. Yeah, I don't know where they are, so never mind. I'll put this one down first. Yeah, I just thought I'd do some more decoration, and I mean, this probably be the last video in this series, but I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed making it. It's sort of given me, it's definitely, you know, brought motivation back for me, because I wasn't feeling motivated lately, just for different reasons, not for anything specific. Just wondering whether if I can put that there. There, I think, or up a little bit like that. Yeah, there. Okay. They're so pretty. I have a couple of hydrangeas in my garden. This is obviously one of them, and then I have a green one. Look, that well, it's sort of cream, but it's also green at different stages, and then it turns like a brownie colour when it's dying. Ooh, poked a hole in it then. I'll show you that in a minute. Yeah, I'm just going to pop that like that, I think. Yeah, happy with that. And then what I might do is just push a little something down there, a label of some sort, and just let that. Now, I haven't completely glued these all down completely flat. You might have to put a little bit more on there, because when it's in the journal it will get flattened anyway, and it'll just break off if it's not glued down. So probably do need to glue that bit down. Good. Okay, well that worked out quite well. I'll leave that one for a minute, because I'll do the next bit, you know, the label bit with something else. Let's have a look. Do another one. We've got this grey colour here, which I like. Actually, the green would be nice as well. The only thing is I don't like the edges being too perfect, so I'll just grab my ruler a little bit. don't know what I was doing there, but anyway, never mind. Just cut that off. Okay, so let's put something on here, and again I just want to see if I can get it to crack a little bit. That's a good idea if you use chalk paint or something chalky like that, and you do a few layers of it, it will crack. Actually, that has cracked, and then you could wash it with something else or put another colour up the top, and it will go into the cracks. So that's another idea. This is another type of hydrangea. I'm not going to use that, but that's another one. I've got things like that, but I don't want to use that. I think I want to use flowers. So I'm going to stick with flowers, I think. Got a little purple flower there. Now let's think about what to put on the top of there. So it could be book page or something like that. Let's see. Put some book page here. Just thinking a small piece, or a smaller piece like that, maybe a bit smaller even. Like that. And then if I were to put don't like that with the book page though. Let's see what else we've got then. Put brown paper here, maybe a piece of brown paper to go over the top. I don't know if you heard Rudy make a little complaint there. I think he probably wants to be more comfortable than he is, but you know, he's chosen to no, still not. This light I think isn't helping because it's sort of bouncing around in it, but no, I don't like that either, so I'm going to go back to this. So I hope you're all doing well. I know I take forever on these things, but some of you seem to enjoy it, so I'll carry on. And just glue this on here. Hang on. Yeah, it's definitely this side. And I should use my board, and I still haven't got the glue because it didn't go out yesterday. I thought I was going to be going out, but I didn't. So, right, so that's going there. Like that. And then, yes. Yep, we found it. So that is going to go in there. You know, you've just got to keep persevering. Right, so ooh, now I like that. I like that as well. Ooh, this is Momogami paper, and it always looks beautiful on you know, as part of a collage. It always looks gorgeous. I need to make some more of that as well. Yeah, I mean, I think that looks quite nice, I think. It's driving me nuts. If it's driving me nuts, it must be driving you nuts. All right, let's have a look. there. Well, I like that. Put that there, and that there, and then the flower on top. How about that? Yeah, I'm going to configure it somehow like that, I think, because I'm just not getting anywhere. So I think I've just got to go for it really and just put it on, and then we'll see. So what I want it to come higher for a start, and I wanted it to come over a bit on there and on there, and then this. I think I want this down here, like that. Okay. See? Like that. Something like that. And then the flower there. Like that, I think. It's just a big bulk of paper in it. It's not, unless I put the flower that way. No. Okay, so I'm going to rip some of it off, and I'll put another layer of this on instead, over the top. Put some glue on here. So if I put another layer of that on, I think it might look better, because it's not looking good right now. There, I think that's better. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to put that on the edge there as well. I watched a program last night about people who have, well, first of all, it was a man who had amnesia, but for the last 20, I think it was 20 years of his life. And he couldn't remember, and he basically what happened is he had a virus, like a flu virus, and he was really poorly, but they couldn't figure out what was going on. So he was at home, really surprised they didn't put him in hospital, because he was obviously very ill. And anyway, so he was at home, and the doctor kept coming out to, at the time that was when, you know, doctors would actually visit the home. They used to do visit home calls. I don't know if they did that in other countries, but in the UK you would get a home visit from the doctor who would do his rounds with his bag. And this man, obviously the doctor was going out to see him, but he didn't know what was wrong with him, basically. He was trying to figure it out, but he couldn't figure it out. if he'd acted sooner, then maybe things wouldn't have been quite as catastrophic as they were, because it was, in the end, it was pretty catastrophic. So he eventually went into hospital after quite a few days of being ill and with really, really high temperatures. And it's probably too late. If they'd caught it sooner, he probably wouldn't have been quite so severe. But anyway, basically what happened is he whatever he had has started to attack his brain, and particularly his hippocampus, which is responsible for the memory part of the brain. And I quite like that. I'm going to rip this bit off the end here. Oh. I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but I quite like it. It's all right. It's not as nice as the other one, but it's all right. Okay, and it took a lot of ripping and pulling. Anyway, so he went into hospital and they realised that it was part of the herpes simplex. He must have had a cold sore or something like that, and it had attacked the frontal lobe, the hippocampus, and so he was desperately ill, and they were trying to get his temperature down and what have you. Right, I'm just gonna fold this like this. So with this, I'm just going to rip there, and I'm going to take off these two. Yeah, and it basically left him with, he was quite, I don't know about famous might not be the right word, but he was well known. He was a conductor, he was a musician, a celebrated musician and conductor. So in the world of music, classical music, he was well known. Right, let's give these a background. And so the losing his memory was particularly devastating, because he was no longer able to do what he used to be able to do. And basically his memory was 7 seconds long, so he couldn't remember anything at all beyond 7 seconds. And so yeah, it must have been horrendous for him, and I think basically he was married, he had a young wife who was a fair bit younger than him actually. It was his second marriage. And they were devoted to each other, and but he was in anguish for a lot of the time. He became quite violent, and he had to go into a specialist sort of residential unit, and that's where he lived. He stayed there. It was obviously very good, and he stayed there. And his wife and she divorced him, and she tried to have a normal life outside of that, and she ended up not being able to. And in the end, she came back to him, and I mean, she always kept in touch with him. And he didn't know, anything really, because he would forget. 7 seconds later, he would forget everything. So every time he saw her, he knew who she was, though. It was bizarre because, it raises all these sorts of questions. Is how did he know who she was, and all of these sorts of things. But he knew who she was. And I can't find my glue board, so just and he knew, he knew that he didn't have a memory. He lost every memory, all memories. And so every time he saw somebody, it was for the first time, but he recognised certain things and had certain not memories, but you know, knowledge that he would write down and things like that. So he'd lived like that for 20 years. Excuse me. Right, so I might put that on something else, you know. I may use a little blue tissue background as well. Because I just think it'd look, I mean, I probably should have put the blue right, let me just work this a little bit. So yeah, so that was really, you know, heartbreaking really. He could still play the piano, and you know, he loved music. He was very talented, but you know, that's what I mean about, you know, there were things that he could remember. So it must have been innate, you know, an innate knowing in order for him to play the piano, because how would he know how to do that, and how would he know? I just don't fully understand it myself, but yeah, it's interesting, very interesting, you know. And his wife did everything she could for him. She really tried to make his life as bearable as possible, and I'm sure the staff in the service where he lived would have, you know, would have been he would have been quite well looked after, I'm guessing. Having been there for 20 years. It was sad though, because some of his family wouldn't go to see him because they were too, they found it too distressing. Right, so I'm going to put some paper behind there. Let me just take a little bit more off here. So they found it too distressing, so yeah, very difficult. And anyway, yeah, it's interesting. And then I watched about a boy in the UK who had the man was in the UK, by the way. He was a British man. Oh, just take that off a minute. I wanted to have it so some of that paper showed like that, maybe the edge. Okay. And then I'll have that on there. Yeah, so then it was a boy who didn't forget things, so he had like a super memory. He remembered everything. And then he was British, and then it also featured a woman in the US who was also had that ability to remember dates and everything that she was doing at a certain time, and so there was sort of psychologists and what have you looking in, and specialists looking into how they could do it, you know, the part of the brain that was being utilised, how they could remember dates every day of the year, forever type of thing. What happened on such and such a day, what they did. So they remembered everything. Right, so we've got that one. I'm going to put a little piece of something over that. I think I will use gold because I've got gold on there. So yeah, they were trying to find out exactly what, you know, how, maybe to help others with brain injuries or whatever, but yeah. And then they were looking at acquired savant syndrome. So savant syndrome is whereby, acquired anyway, so a lot of, not a lot, but some people with within the autistic spectrum have what's known as savant syndrome. Now you might remember Rain Man. I'm sure you know about this anyway, but I'll just say Rain Man, yes. So he had savant syndrome. That's his knowledge of numbers, or his ability to, you know, calculate numbers like that, and or whatever he did. I can't remember what he did. Was very special, and there are people like that, and so I'm trying to think what to put behind there. With it, yeah, I think I'll put brown again. Put brown paper. It's too bright, I think. Oh, where's the grey? Let's see. What about the grey? No, I think I'll stick with brown paper. But there are people who've had a brain injury through an accident or whatever. Somebody was assaulted, he was mugged, and he was attacked from behind basically and hit his head on the pavement, and he became a savant, and his skill that he acquired was seeing everything in patterns and maths. So, you know, he had this ability that, you know, you just is extraordinary ability, put it that way. And so that maybe, or something else. Let's see what else we've got. We've got some little papers here. Put that there. What about that? Or this? That might be better because it's longer. Yeah, I think I'll put that there. So, you know, and there are quite a few people who had these brain injuries, and they've led to this happening to them, which is I find interesting. You know, it obviously changed the course of their lives, and not always for the better. You know, if you've got a brain injury, you're going to suffer and struggle in some ways. But hopefully people do recover, and then they, you know, find they have this ability, and yeah, which is great, you know. Well, it's a bonus. I mean, yeah. Right, so that's that one. So I've done a few. I'm going to do one more with flowers. I'll use this grey one here. It's got a bit of green on it as well. Just going to take this edge off there. So let's see, we'll go back to these. Thinking a couple of those maybe. Can't quite. They're nice. I think the shape of them, the sort of squareness of a couple of them, puts me off a little bit. Right, let's see. What backing paper do I want? I've still got this gold, which I seem to like. And I've got this. It's a bit strong, that, isn't it? No. Well, that's got some white paste on it, so it might be all right. The other flower. Let me see if there's anything else. These are petals. Oh, could you? Oh, I like that. Yeah, I like that. that away a minute. This is just a bit too chunky. But then that doesn't stand out on the grey, does it? What about that? I like that when I do that. So, oh dear. Oh well. See if I can redo it. I'm going to just see if I can keep this in place and do it like that. That. And then like that. Like that. Alright, let's see if we can redo this. So delicate. It had this behind it, so I know I can't put that on, but I can put these on like that. Yeah, like that. I'm sure it'll be fine. Come on. I think this was further up. Sorry, I know that I'm taking my time and it's all a bit, you know, all over the place, but I'm just trying to do working with materials that are difficult to handle, and then yeah, I think that's better. Needed something else there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, so I'll put those on. Thank goodness. So I'll put this one on first. I might be able to salvage what I was trying to do earlier. And then, you know, obviously I've still got, that was Rudy. What was I saying? Yeah, I've still got labels and things to use and what have you, so. Like that. Now, there was another piece, wasn't there? So, like, I could put that one in the middle. Or to the side there. I think I'll do that. Beautifully. I forget the name of the flower. My mum always used to buy them. Although she always had some, you know, in vases in the house. I forget the name of them now. Now this is seed, little seed bit. I think I'm going to put that on if I can, just because I think it will help to, to make it more visible. Actually, it might not be the seed, it might just be the stamen, but it's hard to know. Just pop that in the centre there. And there we go. I think that's nice. And I like that little bit of gold. I can add. Now I'm just going to move some things, so because I'm not going to be, I don't think I'm going to be doing any more flowers and leaves at this stage. Just move them away a minute, and then we'll bring them out and let's try and decorate them a little bit more, just with maybe a label or something. I mean, I could do some, pen around them or something, but let's have a look. Oh, and there's something else I wanted to do. I love those. Look how pretty those look. And this is why I love doing that whole painting behind. I just think they're beautiful. Stunning. But I can certainly put a little label or something on. So if I could, see if I can find something. I mean, even book page, sort of down there. That says Emily Bronte on there. I think I'll put that on. That would be lovely. Little reference to Emily Bronte for some reason. I'm wondering why. I don't think I've used the Emily Bronte book. I can hear Bobby snoring in there, in the bedroom next to the door's open. I can hear him snoring. The other thing I've got is, oh, now this will be interesting. I'm falling apart. Now, do you remember we did this, or I did this? Well, this is, more of that same, using it up. Oh, I think that looks gorgeous, but I'll make it a bit smaller. What about some of that down there? I mean, I think, or even to the side here. There. Yeah, I'm going to put that there, but I am going to ink around it first. Just adds an extra layer of interest. And that's what I love about using these, is that, when I make them as bits to put in my journal, I always put lots of layers on and they look amazing. Well, I think they do. So that's I like that. And we could put something like that there, but I don't think I will. I'll keep those simple. No, definitely not. Definitely not that. I've got that on there, I've got that on there, so I just need one more thing on here, and it might end up being this. I'll just ink it and see how it comes out. I mean, by the time I'm finished with it, there'll be nothing left. Yeah, no, doesn't do it for me. So I did see something else here. What about that? Down there, down there. In there, like that. I like that in there. I will ink it to make it stand out. It's a small thing, but it matters, you know, it makes a difference. And that's what, when you're making things like that, that's what all of these are about, you know. They help to make things more interesting. When you, how did I have it, like that? No, like that. Actually, I can't remember. Yeah, like that. Okay, and I need to put something over the top of there, so I'm going to put this. Or, no, I'll put this for now. See if this works. There. No, that's too much. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it as it is. So I think how long have I been on? Yeah, I've been on quite a while. I've got these, and I like all of them. That's, you know, they're all pretty, and they're all things that I can put in my book. Well, let's, before I finish, you know, this video, let's have a quick look at the book and see where we can put these, where they would look nice. Just put the glues away. I always think I'm going to get more done than I do. I know I just take so long, but it is what it is. I mean, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And you might, this is the same thing, except there's a lot more on that. So I could put like lace at the bottom, like I mentioned, and I might end up doing that. And you'll see, if I do it and I put it in here, you'll see it. So I could put something like that there. And that's just gorgeous. You know, glued down on the page, and I've got writing space. And let's have a look at this one. It's okay, but it's not as nice as the other one. Oh, that is amazing. Look at that. Beautiful. But I actually think that works as well, because it's the blue background and you've got like some blue paper there. I thought I did two with blue paper, but yeah. Let's have a look somewhere else, see where else we can put things. I mean, I don't think on there, but yeah, no, I'll be putting something else here. I mean, we can always put something on this paper. I mean, that looks gorgeous as well. They're just beautiful. I mean, I don't know. They're so delicate, that's the thing. And they just really make a difference. And that just, look how beautiful that looks on that paper. And on that, but much more effective on that. And on here. This is where this might go. Let's try something else in there. Let's see, that looks lovely on there as well. Or even on there. Yeah, love it. Beautiful on there. And that. and that. They all are. That looks gorgeous. Yeah. So there we go. I mean, I just thought I'd show you how we might use them in these. And I'm really taken with this one here. I just think that looks stunning. So that could very well end up there. And I might have to protect this. What I usually do is put something translucent over the top of it to stop it from being affected. But you'll see what I've done it when I've actually done something with it. You'll see how it ends up. Need to do something here. Have some stitching could go in somewhere. I've got lots of things actually. I've got whole, bits to go in. So I will keep working on it. I hope you enjoyed that. I mean, I thought it was going to be different to this, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. And I could have sworn I did more than this, but it just seemed to take so long. But anyway, yeah, like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. And you're inspired to have, if you've got any leaves or anything, you can, if you haven't got any, you could, go out and find whatever you can find outside and press it, and then within a short time you'd be able to use them. I mean, I've got sort of leaves and things here as well. I mean, look at that, so yeah, I've got lots of, I just collect things like this, and this is why I've got so many. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching, and I will be back again very soon with more. So take care everyone. Bye for now.